postseason ramifications, well, they're big. Kentucky sitting at 15 in the RPI. We will see if the Wildcats are mentioned in the early top 16 committee release that will come in about 20 minutes. Alabama sitting in the 86th spot. They're trying to get into an NCAA tournament position as well.
Like you said, that RPI number is a quotient that takes into consideration your strength of schedule and your record against those teams. Alabama was 111 earlier this week after the Auburn win, climbed 25 spots. This would be another huge opportunity to climb a bunch of spots on that RPI list right there if they beat Kentucky today.
Kentucky's won 15 straight in the series, trying to win on Power of Pink Day in Tuscaloosa. And we start with a service error.
Not the way you want to start a match by any means, but plenty of time to recover. Alabama will take the serve.
It'll be the senior Notre Dame transfer, Paris Thompson. Megan Wilson puts it down. Wilson had 20 kills last year against Alabama.
She does such a great job of doing good things with the ball. The set's in the air, and she makes smart decisions with it that time with a great swing down the line.
Now back to serve after the kill by the senior freshman Asia Thigpen out of Pittsburgh, North Carolina. It was a good one. Alabama somehow tracks it down. And there's a kill for the Wildcats from the middle. As we take a look at the head coach for Kentucky, Craig Skinner, 20th season in Lexington, 2020 NCAA champion, has won the last 7 SEC regular season titles. Wildcats currently sitting at 4-2 in conference play. They need to win out if they want to get to 8 in a row. First look at Sophie Agee, and that's long. Kentucky up early, 3-1.
Both teams look a little bit tense right now, like they're still warming up in this match. We're seeing some errors that are unusual with the service errors, some missed swings. Definitely trying to find their rhythm early in this first set.
And an error makes it 3-2 Wildcats as we take a look at Rashinda Reed, the head coach for Alabama, sporting the pink on Power of Pink Day in her 3rd season in Tuscaloosa. Got that ranked win on Wednesday against Auburn, the first for the program since 2016. And from the middle, there's Jordan Daly with the kill.
Kentucky has such a fast offense. That was a great swing by Daly, but really that set coming so fast out of the hands of Grom. You see there's no block in front of Daly right there. That's going to take some discipline from Alabama's blockers to really track and stay in front of the opponent's hitters.
Molly Tuzzo, another good serve, an easy put away for Kentucky.
It all starts with the pass, and that's something Alabama's desperate for right now. They're not starting out super strong on serve receive, but they've got to get a ball up to set our Kayla Keyshot, give her an opportunity to run her offense.
Here's a chance. Agee, and that's down.
Great swing by Agee down the line. That was a good point for Alabama, getting a great pass leading to a great offensive connection there between Keyshot and Agee, just trying to get their team rolling. Both teams, really, this game has started out kind of slow. Neither team really looks like they're fully firing right now, so I would say momentum is still really in the air.
Alabama will see if Callie Kiefer, the sophomore from Prosper, Texas, can maybe go on a bit of a serving run here. First look at Brooklyn DeLay, and it's off of Kiefer.
Great swing by DeLay. We're going to see a lot of that from her, I'm sure, tonight. You see she passed that ball, made a great pass, and then went up and took the swing. A lot of teams like serving at DeLay, just putting more pressure on her. You know she's going to get a bunch of swings, but make her pass as well. And Coach Skinner said on the call this week, he doesn't mind because she's a good passer.
They've got a lot of weapons, but right now, the service errors are a problem. That is the 3rd already by Kentucky.
That is a lot of service errors considering we're only 10 points into this match, and that makes 3 of Alabama's 4 points missed serves by the Wildcats.
Number play to 25, win by 2 in this set. That's blocked and poked out by Kentucky.
Did that ball ricochet off the shoulder of I'm not even sure it happened so fast, but some Kentucky player that was athletic but couldn't quite return it.
At this point, if you're Alabama, you'll take it however you can get it.
That's right.
Voltima sent back, and that scoots out. We're even at 6.
Smart play by Paris Thompson there, seeing that ball come over, but recognizing that it was coming out. You saw she put her hands up to play it, but let it fall behind her. That's a heads-up move. Great court awareness.
Here's delay. Good dig from Bertucci. Campbell, a little off balance. Delay again. This time she puts it away.
Beautiful, sharp cross shot by Delay. We'll take her back to the service line where she's got a really tough topspin serve. You can see great dig to keep Alabama in the point, but watch how Delay just turns that thumb as she's hitting the ball. Great swing.
But the serve is long, and the issues continue for the Wildcats. 4th service error already in this set.
Not great. Not great stat line right there. Something that I know Craig Skinner is going to be talking to his team about. Got to clean it up at the service line. Just keep the ball in at this point.
Speaking of the service line, here's Chase Campbell. Had those aces against Auburn to close out the 4th set. This time, Delay quickly terminates that point.
Beautiful swing by Delay right there, and how hard she hit the ball, it's hard to even tell. She swung from the back row on that, meaning she had to jump from behind the 10-foot line. How hard she hits that ball that far off the net is so impressive.
You see where Brooklyn Delay ranks in the SEC, an All-American last year, the Freshman of the Year in 2023, an all-around impressive player. But right now, the serving is an issue for Kentucky. It's even again.
Man, I don't even know what to say, Gray. You can't build momentum. You can't take the lead. You can't string together points, go on a run if you're not serving the ball in. You see Coach Skinner does not look pleased right now.
On the other side, Natalie Rapetti had the ace that closed out the 5th set against Auburn.
On her birthday, by the way, on Wednesday.
Thigpen, that was off the pin, point Alabama.
You can tell Thigpen was going for that down-the-line shot right there. No surprise, I think that that's going to be a huge part of Kentucky's game plan to try to swing to that right sideline of the Alabama defense. That time she just missed and hit the antenna.
Another solid one from Rapetti. That's sent back. Delay. Kept alive by Thompson. Thompson had it blocked. Look at the hustle. Delay again. That's down, and a kill once again for Brooklyn Delay.
Great rally right there. Some really high-level SEC play. A ton of hustle on both sides of the net. Delay, though, of course, ending the point with a back row attack again. What she does so well, she'll swing out of the middle back, then she'll go swing out of the right back. She's someone you got to keep an eye on.
Already 4 kills for Delay. Paris Thompson gets it down for her first kill.
Speaking of heavy hitters, tough arm swings, something Paris Thompson does so well is knowing where to swing on that ball. She saw the block in front of her, saw they were giving her open cross court. Beautiful swing.
Had her season high in kills at Auburn earlier this year with 16, but Kentucky's able to tie it once again at 10.
That time the swing going off the block there, off the hands of the block. It looked like Bertucci read where that ball was gonna go, but after after the ball hit the block, it landed out of her reach. That's something that's such a fine line. As a blocker, you want to block the ball or at least slow it down, but sometimes you can slow it down out of your defender's reach.
Big Pin able to get in the serve. Now Towns off the hands, and a point will go to Alabama, although initially it looked like the officials were going to give it to Kentucky.
Well, there was a half second that it looked like the line judge, who was supposed to make that call initially, wasn't going to call the touch, but quickly the officials along the net corrected that.
Delay, blocked by Alabama.
Huge block by Kayla Keyshock, the setter for Alabama. That was a big one. That gives Alabama the lead. And definitely, it's always a huge momentum point when you can slow down the opponent's star hitter in Brooklyn Delay.
That sails. Jordan Daly misses long. Alabama up 3.
Definitely some hitting errors and service errors haunting the Wildcats right now as they're still trying to find their rhythm. I think it was a good idea to go to Daly, who had a kill early in this set. She missed long that time. It looked like she was a little bit late on that ball.
Another really good serve from Francesca Bertucci. Alabama leads by 4.
What I love about Francesca Bertucci's serves is how low they float across the net. She does a great job of putting no spin on the ball. Tough to pass.
Craig Skinner is going to call timeout. Alabama with the 14-10 lead in the opening set. Don't go anywhere, folks. Good one brewing in Tuscaloosa.
Champions are not born. They're forged. Every challenge is an opportunity. Every setback, a lesson. But this is not becoming undisputed. Available now.
So, who's driving tonight then?
Who's the best driver?
Kentucky has won 15 straight over the Tide and 7 straight in Tuscaloosa, but Rashinda Reed may be working some magic here on this Sunday. And Francesca Bertucci is having an amazing run on serve. Chase Campbell. Tezzo was there. Agee. She missed, no touch.
Tough cross-court swing. You could tell she was going for that deep corner. Missed just long. Great rally for the Tide, but couldn't quite finish it. That's something they struggle to do early in the season, is they be in good rallies, not find a way to score the point, but something they looked a lot better at Wednesday night against Auburn.
Now the sophomore Molly Tuzzo out of the Woodlands, Texas, has an ace. That's her 18th of the year.
Great float serve for Tuzzo. She has just really excelled this season and been so much fun to watch. Her defense is great, but she also takes care of the other facets of the game really well. She's a great setter for when she has to do that for her team, and a great server at the service line.
Good job out of a timeout so far from Kentucky. They'll have a chance here. Wilson. Bertucci, another good dig. Now delay off hands.
The speed of Kentucky's offense is just so hard to compete with. You look at this dig for Francesca Bertucci, keeping that point alive, but delay, I mean, she makes contact with that ball after it's only been out of Emma Grome or setter's hands for like an 1/8 of a second. You gotta be so quick as a blocker to get there.
Tuzzo's serving has thrown Alabama out of whack, and now Kentucky has grabbed 4 straight points to tie it up.
Smart all-speed shot by Bultema there. I think that's one thing Alabama's defense is going to be watching out for today, something they were a half step slow to get to, is anytime Auburn tipped the ball, that created real problems for the Tide's defense.
Campbell. That's wide. Alabama urging Rashinda Reed to pull the challenge card, and she will indeed.
So
and we'll take a look.
What they're going to look at right now is whether or not Kentucky's blockers touched that ball before it sailed out of bounds. I'm not going to lie, Gray, from where I'm sitting, I thought I heard it. I thought I heard the ball make contact off of Campbell's hands and then off of the Kentucky block, but maybe we'll get a look at from one of the angles, maybe along the net, see if we can see any of those fingers of the Kentucky block snap back. Oh yeah, that definitely looks like, to me, it hit off of the left hand of Brooklyn DeLay for sure.
We had an interesting conversation with Rashinda Reed about her challenge strategy. How much of it is her eyes, how much of it is listening to the players on the floor, and the balance of that. And she was really open and honest about what goes into that process when she's making that decision about whether or not to pull the challenge card.
I'm going to say I think that was a great pull of the challenge card. Campbell came down looking so confident. Let's see if we can see those fingers. It's so hard to see, but snap back at all. Another thing you can sometimes look for is if the spin on the ball changes. It's hard. I thought it definitely looked like a touch, but we'll see. I've been wrong before.
Yeah, if anything, it might have been the pinky of Brooklyn DeLay. And of course, we've got that Hawkeye technology this year to help with the replay reviews in the SEC. Make sure you've got the clear, perfect picture when making the decision. And it's a big decision because if this is not overturned, Kentucky has rattled off 5 straight points and taken the lead here in the first set.
You know that's something that Coach Reed has been working on with her team, not letting their opponents go on runs. So to be able to break this Wildcat run with an overturned call would be a big deal. We'll see another angle. See if that ball hit off. We're looking at that left hand, maybe pinky ring finger on Brooklyn DeLay.
I think I see what you're seeing is very, very tough based off the angles that we've been shown so far.
It is tough to overturn a call, especially, you want to go with what your line judges see and what the ref across from you sees. So it'll be interesting to see how this one goes.
We're still taking a look at it. Now this is also serving as kind of a de facto timeout for Alabama. You see the coaching staff out chatting with the players on the court, which is probably helpful during this moment where Kentucky's gone on a little bit of a run.
Definitely. This is at least giving Coach Reed a chance to talk with her players about what she's seeing the last few points. And right now what it looks like to me is Kentucky said during their timeout, let's have a conversation within this team about what we can do well. We're not going to control what Alabama does, but let's take care of our ball, take care of our errors. And to get the Hawkeye look at this, slow-mo coming off the hands of Campbell. I think that looks like a touch.
That looks like a touch.
I'm not the one making the decision, but I think that looks like a touch.
It's a fantastic shot.
For the record, that's
with that Hawkeye camera.
Definitely. Super helpful. And if I'm hearing the whisperings correctly, a touch is called, so call is overturned. That gives Alabama the lead by a point, 15-14. That was a big point, I think, for the Tide, just morale-wise. They went to Chase Campbell, no surprise in a moment. They really needed to end that Kentucky run, and she did what she does best with a heavy swing. And Campbell, you saw come down so confident, telling Coach Reed to grab that challenge card.
Coach Reed says she usually gives them one a set. If that was the one, it was a good choice. Back to the action now. Chance for Alabama. Agee. Rome had the dig. Here's DeLay. Bertucci lays out. Agee again. Great dig by Thigpen. DeLay again. And that gets through.
I can't even count how many swings DeLay has had tonight off the hands of the Alabama block. That's something that she does so well, is see what's in front of her but not be afraid of it. Try to take advantage of it if those hands aren't fully pressed along the net, fully there yet. That was a great swing by DeLay, and Alabama's blockers are going to have to adjust the speed of the Kentucky offense.
Kentucky starting to serve much better, too. Great job by Kiefer getting that over. DeLay has another one.
Powerful swing by DeLay. She really had a huge hole in the block in front of her. Great job seeing out of her peripheral vision how much room she had to swing and just coming down on the ball.
That creeps over, and an ace for Kentucky.
Those balls, you love it when you're on the team that has those serves. You hate it when you're the opponent because it feels so unlucky. You can't practice that. Definitely a great serve.
Eleanor Bevan going on a run. No room for Campbell. Lindsey Brown got there. DeLay. That gets down. Another kill. Brooklyn DeLay.
When DeLay goes up to swing, Alabama's back row has to make sure their feet are stopped so that they can make a move on the ball. It looked like right there that ball almost hit Sophie Agee in her defensive read position, but she wasn't fully stopped yet, so she couldn't make a play on it. That's something that's so tough to do, especially as the speed of the offense is only increasing.
And now Rashinda Reed has called timeout with Kentucky leading by 3 in the first set. Alabama trying to back it up after a great performance on Wednesday. We've talked about it. That match against Auburn was really impressive.
Such an exciting win for the Tide in 5 sets. They really had to battle back multiple times in tough situations and did just that. I think it was a huge morale win for the team, and you can see how excited they were after as Coach Reed enters the locker room celebrating with her players.
And you see the importance. First win over a ranked opponent.
Her roster to do it. It's just about taking those flashes of greatness and making them consistent, helping them play together as a team all the time, not just in moments.
And of course, finding a way to stop Brooklyn DeLay, which has been hard for anybody in the country and in the SEC to do. So far this afternoon, the sophomore has been excellent. 8 kills, and she's hitting .462.
Gosh, that number just sounds almost impossible considering the fact that she gets every junk ball. Every time Kentucky doesn't know where to give the ball, they give it to DeLay to try to win the point or at least keep the point alive, and she is so good at that.
See 13 straight matches with 10+ kills. She's almost there already. That missed.
That slide goes long. Alabama going to try to take advantage of that hitting error and string together a few points as Paris Thompson checks back in for the Tide.
With the Mississippi State transfer, Sophie Agee back to serve. And it's in the net. First service error of the day for the Tide.
That was definitely a stat line where Alabama was winning. Way fewer service errors than Kentucky has had so far today. But service errors are also so much about timing. You don't want to make them towards the end of the match, especially not when your opponent has the momentum.
Campbell. That missed long. Kentucky up 4.
Deep corner swing goes just out of bounds. I think the idea was there. The idea was great. Execution, not quite.
Kentucky's won 10 of the last 12 points in this set. And Campbell dumps it in the net.
It really looks like Alabama's offense is just still struggling to find their rhythm right now. That Kiefer-Campbell connection is not quite there the way it usually is, and the ball hasn't gotten all the way out to the outsides or to the right side from the Alabama setters like it was on Wednesday night.
So timeout called by Rashinda Reed as we take a look at our featured SEC Network volleyball matchup for Friday night. Number 23 Florida hosts Tennessee at the O'Connell Center in Gainesville. The Gators have beaten the Vols in 3 of the last 4 matchups and 11 of the last 13 dating back to 20. Control of this first set, almost snuck over another one. Thompson, that'll end the run.
That's a big swing for Thompson, getting the kill for her team off the hands of the Kentucky block. She's been another player who's just grown a lot this season in terms of responsibility. And she does a great job of taking care of the ball when she needs to. She's got a heavy arm swing and isn't afraid to swing through the block like she did just right there.
Thigpen. That's off the block of Towns and a point for Kentucky.
Yeah, that looked right there like Towns just wasn't quite all the way fully set up in her block. That's been a real storyline today, is whether or not the Alabama block can get all the way out to the antenna before the swing from the Kentucky hitters.
Eva Sarafa with another good Kentucky serve, but a better kill from Paris Thompson.
That was a beautiful, what they call a tandem right there out of Alabama. Both Towns and Thompson went in for a quick tempo attack in front of the setter, which makes it a little bit hard to tell when the ball first comes out the setter's hands. Is that ball going to go to the middle, or is it going to float past the middle Towns all the way out to Thompson? And it created a one-on-one situation there, so Thompson was only having to swing against one blocker. Great execution and leadership of the offense by setter Callie Kiefer.
Now you've got the senior Rapetti back to serve. Thigpen did not get a clean look. Thompson. Delay, tricky from the sophomore.
Such a smart idea. She saw 3 blockers up against her in Alabama's front row. And those back row defenders ready for that heavy swing. They're kind of back on their heels, so going for the tip, playing that cat and mouse game with the back row players, never letting them know exactly what you're going to do is so smart.
Serve from the 3-time All-American Emma Grome is sent into the net, and it keeps Alabama within a whisper here in the first set, but Kentucky just 2 points away.
I mean, 6 service errors for the Wildcat. That's 30% of Alabama's points right now.
Oh man, hello, Megan Wilson gives Kentucky set point.
Beautiful swing by Wilson. No block up in front of her. That arm swing, so quick. That is so tough to defend. That was a great job by Wilson being available for her setter, Emma Grome, who's done a great job getting her whole offense, incorporated all her hitters into the game.
Thigpen. Great dig from Thigpen. Chance to close out the opening set, sent back over. Delay again, blocked. Delay again. That time she misses wide and Alabama stays alive.
Even though that ball didn't go down, that was a big block in the middle of the rally for Alabama. They had to find a way to start slowing Delay down, so even putting the ball back on their side right there, that was a big moment.
Delay is rejected by Chase Campbell.
Speaking of blocking, that was a huge block by Chase Campbell, and you see that was an out-of-system play for Kentucky. So Chase and Keshok had all the time in the world to set up their block and did a great job of it.
Still multiple set points for Kentucky. Looking to close it out. Here's Delay. Campbell, off hands.
Campbell again getting the point for her team. I know I've said this a couple times, but Campbell is not just a great player, she is a clutch player. She doesn't just have flashes of greatness around the match, but she has them when her team needs them the most.
And a timeout is called by Coach Skinner and Kentucky. Kentucky still got set point, but if you're Alabama, you've got to feel good about how you're ending this first set, even if Kentucky does indeed close it out.
Definitely, this set has had some ups and downs for both teams. It really felt like both teams started out slow, weren't playing at their 100% at the beginning of this match, but are finding their rhythm, are finding their routine. We're seeing better rallies as play goes on, and Alabama's going to look to have the momentum going into this next set.
And you see the match summary so far. Statistically, Kentucky has done just about everything right. 10 more kills, much better hitting percentage. Really,
chemistry back, getting that rhythm back will be huge for them. because they looked so good Wednesday night just a few days ago.
And you see right there, 8 attack errors for Kentucky, 6 service errors. Alabama down 2, still set point for Kentucky. But Bertucci's been the best server today for the Tide. Opportunity. Agee, no space. Wilson. Wilson again, that's down, and Kentucky takes the first set in Tuscaloosa. It took a minute, but the Wildcats close out the opening set, and we get ready for set number 2 here at Foster. Don't go anywhere, folks. Feels like we've got a good one. You're gonna wanna stick around.
Champions are not born. They're forged. Every challenge is an opportunity. Every setback, a lesson. But this is not just about becoming undisputed. Available now.
So, who's driving tonight then?
Who's the best driver?
Kentucky sided out really, really well, had a pretty high sided out percentage during that set. They're going to look to keep that high up there in the 60s, 70s. Alabama struggled a little bit more, only down there at 56%. I think one of the keys for Kentucky right now that they kind of realized during that first set is let Alabama make the errors.
As we begin the second set with Rapetti serving for Alabama. Key shot, tried to put it away. They'll say it was off hands for Kentucky and a point for the Tide.
That was a little bit funny looking to me. I couldn't tell what exactly happened, if Keyshaw could totally mishit it, but she must have made contact with DeLay's hands before it went across the net.
First kill for Kaylee Keyshock. And there's Daly returning the favor to tie it up at 1.
That was a great swing off the hands of Towns, something that Daly does so well is she's athletic in the middle. She can swing from in front of Immigram, from behind her, and she can swing any direction on the court. Wherever the blocker gives her room to swing, she will swing there.
Error from Tuzzo, who served very well in the first set.
I can't say enough. I think limiting service errors is going to be a focus for Kentucky the rest of the match.
I know you love talking about service errors.
There's just not much to say at this level other than don't do it. Or don't do it often.
Here's Wilson. Agee sent back. Now Wilson again. Agee again. That's blocked by Kentucky.
Huge block for Wilson on the right pin for Kentucky. Beautiful job staying disciplined, staying focused. But that is something that Agee has to see in front of her, is that big block. She was already blocked earlier in the rally. Find a way to keep the point alive and let her team reset.
Good one from Bevan. Bertucci has to scramble just to send it over. Baltimore rejected. Now delay. That finds a spot, point Wildcats.
Great cross-court swing from DeLay. The solution for Kentucky that Alabama doesn't have an answer to off the out-of-system set. That was a great job being patient on the ball and then swinging heavy.
Here's Towns. Man, great dig, but Bevan couldn't keep it in.
That was a great job by Towns running the slide approach, meaning she goes behind her setter, Kayla Keyshock, and really kind of waits until Keyshock gets her hands on the ball and tracks the ball down, jumping off one leg, taking that ball totally cross-court. Those are tough to defend.
See if Kentucky has an answer. They go to delay, and yes, indeed, the Wildcats respond.
Did you just ask if Kentucky had an answer? We should know at this point. Delay is the answer. Beautiful swing that will send her to the service line. She sometimes serves with a topspin swing, but went to her float serve earlier in the first set.
Well, that one goes long, tied up at 4, and now 8 service errors in the match for Kentucky.
Service errors kill the momentum of the game like nothing else. Whew. Don't have much more to say other than Kentucky's got to stop that.
Here's Kiefer. Big pin blocked. Campbell puts it away.
Great heads-up play by Campbell as that ball barely came across the net, and she took care of it nicely. Those balls, Greg, can be so tough because it barely comes across the net. And you can see how she jumps, but stays disciplined enough not to touch the net, just putting that ball out of Delay's reach. Great swing.
That's 3 kills now for Chase Campbell. Guess who? Delay, but that was off the net and back. Alabama leads by 2.
Huge point for Alabama. I can't tell if that ball purely made contact with the net or if any of the Alabama blockers got a piece of it. Regardless, point goes to the Tide.
Alabama had the early lead in the first set as well. Big pin, sent back. How about again? Once again, the block is there for Alabama. Third time, Bertucci. Now popped over by Dunaway. Baltimore is able to terminate.
That was a great team point for Kentucky. They're covering their hitters after Alabama got some good touches on the block. Those might seem like little mishaps throughout the rally, but when, as a hitter, you swing into the block and feel your team around you keep the point alive, that just builds your confidence to keep swinging tough.
Redshirt freshman Ava Sarafa. Oh, man, hello, Kyla Dunaway.
Kyla Dunaway with a beautiful swing, but that set from Callie Kiefer, who was being pulled forward. The whole momentum of the point was moving towards the left sideline. She throws it all the way back. You see middle blocker Daly for Kentucky had followed Kiefer all the way across the net. Beautiful swing by Dunaway against one blocker.
Delay. And Bertucci once again got there. Rome tried to send it herself. Now Thompson blocked, and it just falls out.
That was a great swing by Thompson. I don't know when the last time Chase Campbell had one of these, but that actually gives Chase an assist. Her stat line is just so impressive what she gets done for her team.
Alabama almost had one crawl over the net. Oh, big pin. That is powerful from the freshman.
It looks like some of the blockers are a little confused as to whether or not that ball made contact with the antenna off of Thigpen's hand before it came and hit, ricocheted off the foot of Callie Kiefer, who was playing defense in the back row. Coach Reed does grab her challenge card. So maybe we'll get an angle that shows a little bit of that ball before it crosses the net or as it's crossing the net. This can be tough to look at because you're trying to see, does it make contact with the antenna at all? Does it make contact after hitting Thigpen's hand, after hitting off of the hand of Kyla Dunaway? A lot to look at here on the review.
Well, and it worked earlier for Rashinda Reed. Here's our look.
So it does not look like, to me, that ball made any contact with Kyla Dunaway's hand. But it does look like that antenna was shaking a little bit after the play, which means it could have only been the ball. So the ruling was that the ball did not hit the antenna, that it just landed in or off the foot of Kiefer in the back row. Here's another angle, trying to see if that ball, so hard to tell. This gives Alabama a good time to take a deep breath, talk about what's working.
Another look with the Hawkeye camera.
You know, it happens so fast, but the thing that makes me think it did hit the antenna is it looks like the antenna starts to shake before anyone had a chance to make contact with the net or anything.
This would be a great shot.
Oh, that's pretty convincing to me. But again, that ball could have just hit off of the top of the net, which is another thing to look at.
Yeah, one of the angles that we saw, it looked to me like it hit the top of the net. Now, the question is, did it scrape the antenna?
Right.
That's what we're looking at right now. This has been another longer review.
For sure, and you can think of the antenna as an extension of the sideline going vertical into the air. Oh, this view is pretty good. Yeah. This one would be really tough to overturn. That does not look like it's hitting the antenna at all to me. I'm gonna go with the call stands, is my guess. Gray, what about you?
I'm with you, partner. And we'll see what the decision is. Indeed, Alabama does not win that challenge. And Kentucky back down 2 here in the second set.
So the call is confirmed. Kentucky will go back to the service line. This is a strong rotation for Kentucky with Emma Grome at the service line. Obviously, all of her front row attacking options in Thigpen, Wilson, and Daly, but also having delay in the back row. This is a time when Alabama's going to want to keep Kentucky out of system.
We've got 2 former SEC Freshman of the Year winners on the floor right now for Kentucky. Dunaway has it blocked by the freshman, Asia Thigpen.
Great block by Thigpen, who had been kind of beat by Dunaway on the last time they were one-on-one. She did a great job of tracking Dunaway's arm and staying in front of it.
Emma Grome, again, just off the top of the net. Thompson, that's down.
Okay, I'm so excited to see what the stat sheet's gonna look like at the end of this set, because that right there was an assist for Kyla Dunaway as Thompson took care of that ball. You know it's a good thing when your team can make it work out of system with anyone setting the ball. Anytime you're out of system, your team knows to put the ball high and off the net, a little bit inside for the outside hitters. That was a great set by Dunaway.
And how about Towns putting away the overpass?
Great job by Towns, seeing that, staying disciplined, throwing it down in a corner. You know, it can be tempting for those front row players to go up and swing on the ball, but that ball was barely creeping over the net. Going up and opting for the block was really, really smart in the disciplined move from Jordan Towns.
And all this happening on the serve of Chase Campbell, trying to attack the back corner. Thigpen, oh yeah, good job by the freshman.
Great job seeing the hole in the block and swinging through it by Thigpen, who really does a good job. We've talked a lot about Delay, but Thigpen plays opposite of Jordan Delay and does a great job taking her swings when she needs to.
Yeah, missed some time earlier this year after an injury against SMU. He's gone for 6 matches, but is back and pretty close to 100%. There's a block from Alabama.
That's a big block for Paris Thompson, shutting Wilson down. Those blocks can be big momentum moments. And look at how well Thompson goes up and her hands are turned back so that if the ball ricochets off, it only goes back into the Kentucky court.
These are 2 teams that are near the bottom in SEC ranks in terms of blocks per set. But the Alabama block has made some plays today. That one awkwardly sent over by the Tide. Now Delay has it blocked by Alabama.
Kayla Keshak again with the block. That is something that is a huge moment for Alabama, getting to block Delay when she's out of in system, not just on those out of system balls. That's huge for team's momentum. A little bit of a conversation going on the sideline, I believe, about the beginning of that rally. A little bit of an awkward exchange.
No challenge, though, from Craig Skinner. And how about Daly made something out of absolutely nothing on that point.
Disciplined job by Emma Grum tracking that ball down, but Daly, like you said, really smart, just shoved that ball across the net off the hands of Keshak.
See where Keshak goes. It's Towns. Grum has the dig. Delay. That's off the antenna.
That time, no challenge card needed. All of the referees immediately signaled for the off the antenna swing by Delay. Alabama ahead right now, much to the credit of the ability to slow down Delay. You can see she was going for that down the line shot.
Oh my, Bertucci. Now Agee blocked. There's the Kentucky block making some noise.
Big block for Kentucky, a necessary block right there. Getting the serve back on their side. You can see this huge swing, but gosh, the defensive effort by Bertucci. And then the block by Wilson to finish it for the Wildcats. These are the exciting rallies that you expect out of October volleyball.
Keshak trying to get crafty. Now a joust. Delay. Oh, that's just pretty.
So smart by Delay to go for the off-speed shot right into the middle of the court. She's been swinging heavy, got the defensive players on their heels. We saw her do it with the tip out of the back row attack, that time with the roll shot.
Coach Skinner talked about how versatile she is. And she's putting away kills. Alabama's starting to make some mistakes, and the lead is down to 1.
Definitely Alabama needs to take care of the ball a little better. They've got some hitting errors kind of stringing together right now, and Kentucky is cleaning their play up a bit.
Towns. Great get, Tuzzo. Here's Agee. Alabama wants a touch. There is no touch. We're even at 13.
Another hitting error for the Tide will lead Coach Reed to call the timeout.
Alabama wants to talk about it. Tied up at 13 here in set number 2 in Tuscaloosa.
Champions are not born. They're forged. Every challenge is an opportunity. Every setback, a lesson. But this is not just about becoming undisputed. Available now.
So, who's driving tonight then?
Who's the best driver?
Bevan. Towns. Towns is able to end the run.
Great job by Towns. I like the decision by Keshak to go back to Towns, even though that was the last hitting error that led into that timeout. Anytime a setter goes back to a hitter right after an error, especially on the same approach, the same swing, and says, I'm going to give you an opportunity, another opportunity, I believe in you, that's huge for team morale.
Where does Kentucky go? It's Delay. That time Alabama was there defensively. And Grum misplayed it.
Grum going for the setter dump on that ball, accidentally just sent it straight into the tape right there.
It was all very awkward.
Very awkward. It's tough what she was trying to do, to track that ball coming over your shoulders and send it across the net.
The pin is sent back by Chase Campbell.
Chase Campbell again coming in clutch for her team. That was a huge block on the back row attack by Thigpen, who just swung so hard on that ball. You saw it come off the hand of Campbell, and it looked like it only landed a foot into the Kentucky court. That ball went straight down.
Delay. That's touched by Alabama. Point Wildcats, and just a nugget. Chase Campbell now with 4 blocks. You saw that, but in the first set had her 300th career block in an Alabama uniform.
Definitely an exciting milestone.
Probably need some more if Alabama wants to pull off the upset today. AG rejected.
AG struggling here in this match, but specifically here in this set, she's currently hitting negative 286 on the night. Coach Reed talks a little bit about how she lets AG work through those moments.
And Alabama helped out by the service area. We talked to Coach Reed about that, said there are some times where AG's just out of rhythm and they know she can get there, but until she gets there, you've got to have everybody else step up.
Absolutely, and that's why you saw Chase Campbell's play make such a huge difference Wednesday night, because they needed someone else to turn to, as AG has been that person during a lot of matches this season.
Nice serve, beautiful ace, Callie Kiefer.
Great float serve out of setter Callie Kiefer. You see that ball, it floats across the net, but specifically it floats so low across the net. It makes it really tough to read. There's not much time to read it. It's not sailing super high. Great serve.
Second of the match for Alabama. Thigpen. This is Dunaway. That finds some room.
Great swing by Kyla Dunaway. I want to say a couple things about it. She tracked it as it was a little bit behind her. It was coming from pretty far off the net, and it's always tough to hit on the right side as a right-handed hitter. It's so much easier to hit on the outside where you're not having to track it come all the way across your body before it reaches your hand. It's easier to be a lefty swinging off the right antenna like Dunaway does, but she does it as a right-hand dominant player and does it so well. That was a great example.
Well, and now a timeout called by Kentucky and their head coach, Craig Skinner. Lane, I know you love to talk about the defensive players, so let's talk about the liberos. How about Francesca Bertucci? We were walking and talking before the match, Lane. You think that Wednesday was one of the best matches you've seen from her in an Alabama uniform?
Absolutely. There's a couple Alabama matches I've missed over the last couple seasons, but you know, last year she didn't start in the libero, being stopped, as you can see, as the other team's hitting the ball, so she can make a quick read. She can get way further than you expect. You saw that great serve there as well, because she's disciplined about getting to her defensive read position and then making a move. Really some great ups for her so far tonight already.
Yeah, she was the MAC Defensive Player of the Year back with Northern Illinois in 2022. That'll quiet the run. Baltima puts it away.
That was a great swing from behind the setter, Emma Grome. Baltima seeing open court, really not having much of a block in front of her and taking advantage of that.
Great job by the redshirt freshman, who set a new career high with 14 kills against Tennessee. Opportunity for Kentucky. Thigpen. Yes.
Thigpen again with a great cross-court swing. She's done a great job of swinging around the Alabama block, of seeing it in front of her. All these things developing so quickly. That block always getting there or not getting there at the very last second. The decisions these hitters make in the air are so athletic, so impressive.
Another serve from Sarafa. Dunaway. Picked up by Sarafa. Daly. Oh no, a miscommunication gives Alabama the point.
That set was a little far off the net for what Daly was looking for, so she thought that Grome was looking to delay in the back row, who was already getting ready to cover her hitter. Rare communication error out of the Kentucky offense. Emma Grome does such a good job of leading that offense from the setter position.
You won't see that very often with Emma Grome leading the way. Here's Thompson. Now Daly sent back at a whistle, and a violation will give the point to Kentucky. And Alabama a little confused, but I don't think we'll see a challenge.
The call is that Chase Campbell at some part of that block was in the net, made contact with the net. Coach Reed's clearly disappointed by that call, and so is Chase Campbell on the court. Try to see here in the replay if Chase hit the net coming down. Gosh, it doesn't look like it to me, but it's hard to tell.
So the point goes to Kentucky. Campbell, oh my, that's a response.
You know, playing the sport growing up, something that we would always say as a team is the ball never lies. Great swing by Campbell there. And anytime you felt like you got gypped on a call, to go out and win that next point and to win it the way that Campbell just did, the ball never lies.
Great reaction, too, as Campbell now goes back to serve. Ticked off the top of the net. Here's Thompson. Was there a touch? No.
Great swing by Thompson. I like the aggressive swing. I don't want her to let up at all, but I guess that ball landed a little bit out the court. Must have just barely missed that back end line. The set staying tight. Neither team has really taken any major lead.
It's a great serve from Thigpen. Now delay. Wow, Kentucky within one.
Great swing by Delay and great set by libero Molly Tuzzo. Anytime the setter makes the first contact, so Molly, Grome there taking that first pass. Tuzzo knew she had to put the ball up. It's a beautiful set.
See where Alabama goes. It's Thompson. Grome got there. Now Wilson. That's off hands. We're tied at 21 in the second set.
That was a great high hand swing for Wilson. She saw the big Alabama block in front of her in Townsend Dunaway. That was a huge block touch for Kentucky.
A clutch 3-0 run for the Wildcats with a freshman on serve. Towns couldn't get it down. Wilson. Thompson. Oh my, what a dig by Thigpen. Delay. No touch, point Alabama.
Delay going for the deep cross-court swing, sends the ball long. That error surprises me out of Delay, but she was being aggressive, made a good swing, I think made the right decision there, just missed.
Alabama 3 points away from evening this at a set apiece. No surprise, it's Delay, but no space. Thompson. That's off the Kentucky block.
Anytime these hitters go up on that out-of-system swing, when the block, which we've got huge blockers playing in front of us today, with that block has so much time to set up, I catch myself holding my breath for a second because you know the block's gonna get a piece of it. Is the block gonna put the ball straight back down, or is Thompson, or is the hitter like Thompson just did, gonna take advantage of it and swing off the hands of the block? That was a great job by Paris Thompson.
No, a timeout called by Kentucky and Craig Skinner. Alabama 2 points away from taking this second set as we take a look at the match summary. And Kentucky still statistically better in a lot of areas, but the Alabama defense has stepped up in this set, and the service errors continue to loom large overall today.
I mean, you look at the bottom part of that stat line.
Kentucky trying to win a 16th straight over Alabama. They've won 7 in a row here in Tuscaloosa, but Tide trying to grab a victory over the Wildcats since winning in 4 on November 9th of 2012. And
is and how big wins like this could be for a team like Alabama that's trying to get that number up.
And you see Brooklyn Delay on the screen. You've got to think she's going to get the look here.
Definitely. Kentucky needs a point right now. They really don't want to give set point to the Tide. Brooklyn Delay probably going to be the answer, but we could on a good pass see Grome look to Daly, who's had some great swings tonight as well, or Wilson.
Glad you're with us in Tuscaloosa. Gray Robertson, Lane Rizzo. Wilson a little off balance. Here's Towns. It's ping pong back and forth, and now blocked by the Tide to get set point.
We've talked a ton about Chase Campbell, but she's got another middle blocker playing opposite of her. And for those 3 rotations, Campbell's not in. Jordan Towns comes in and holds it down. That's a great block for Towns and a huge point for the Tide.
Rapetti can close out this second set just like she closed out the 5th against Auburn. Wilson. And Kentucky stays alive.
That time with the off-speed shot from Wilson, that was smart move. Make the Alabama defenders run through that ball. She was a little bit off balance as she took that swing. And Tuzzo at the service line, who's done a great job so far today.
She does have an ace in this match. It's Towns. Rome was there. Wilson. And it's returned by Kentucky to again extend the set.
That was a big block for Kentucky. Alabama still has set point. But if Kentucky wins this point, you know, the game's 2-25, but win by 2. So the set would really be up in the air again. Both teams really stepping it up, playing at a high level, clicking more and more as the match goes on. I'm impressed by the way Kentucky is stepping up. They really don't look phased, despite the fact that Alabama's had the lead a little bit in this set, and especially towards the end of this set. Those players, key impact players you see in DeLay and Thompson, both number 17, both outside hitters, done a great job of stepping up when her team needs her. One of my favorite things about watching Thompson play is how she does not let the flow of the game or her last swing affect her decisions. And DeLay as well. You looked at that hitting percentage, but gosh, those 14 kills still, you know that hitting percentage is a little low for no reason other than she is swinging, seems like almost on every other ball. Kentucky keeps going to her because she keeps finding.
And now Alabama just trying to score one more point. They've had a couple set points, but Kentucky has stayed alive. And as you mentioned, Lane, as we talked about earlier, it's 1st to 25, win by 2. If Kentucky wins this point, the drama really ramps up.
That's right, this is an important serve right here for Tuzzo.
As we talked about, she served well today. Over to Towns. Oh man, tied at 24.
Big block for Kentucky again. Right now, they're blocking defense, saving the game, keeping them in the game, I should say.
Oh, that missed. Wow, Baltimore had a clear shot, but Alabama's got another set point.
Gosh, you know that swing is gonna haunt Baltimore on pretty open court right there from the overpass. Alabama gonna try to capitalize on that error.
With Thompson serving. It's DeLay, it's blocked. Again, that's down, tied at 25. Again, you have to win by 2 to close out this set.
Beautiful job by DeLay. You see she doesn't turn her body in the air as she takes that swing. She turns her arm, her wrist, and specifically her thumb down on the ball, puts so much side spin on it. That points to, that ball was not far from AG, but reading her body, she was just in the wrong spot.
Towns, another opportunity. DeLay again, blocked by Alabama.
Blocking has become a huge part of this set. Late in this set has been so important. Alabama with 8 blocks on the match, and that one couldn't have come at a better time for the Tide. Keyshock and Campbell collaborating to keep that ball down.
Yeah, how about 6 blocks in this set alone? Another set point, but DeLay tried to end it there, couldn't. See if she gets another chance. It's Baltimore, it's a kill.
Baltimore that time did not miss. That was a great swing between the Tide blockers. Kentucky just won't go away. They keep making big swings to keep the match going. DeLay is back at the service line where she struggled today. She's had 3 missed serves already.
Gets that one in. Campbell blocked by the Wildcats to get a set point of their own.
I think it was a great idea to go to Campbell, but I wish Keshak, while in the front row, had pulled Campbell behind her, try to separate the block a little bit, and maybe even give Agee, who struggled, a chance to swing.
See where Alabama goes. It's Agee. There was a touch. We play on.
A clutch swing from Agee, got a piece of the Kentucky block. And Keshak will go back to the service line. This is typically a moment you see Callie Kiefer check in to the set, but in a set like this that goes to extended points, Alabama's close to running out of subs.
Bultema. Oh, that's off Bertucci. Set point again.
Bultema seeing a lot of success in this set, specifically swinging behind Emma Grome, doing that slide approach and taking her swings from the right antenna.
She's got 6 kills as Sarafa goes back to try and finish it off. Campbell, opportunity, Thigpen, kept alive. Delay down, and Kentucky is able to close out the second set in style. After facing multiple set points, the Wildcats go up 2-0 in Tuscaloosa. Although, perhaps not. Nope, no challenge, and that ends the second set as Brooklyn DeLay once again does what she does best. 16 kills, including the one that finished off set number 2. Wildcats will go for the sweep when we come back.
Champions are not born. They're forged and becoming undisputed. Available now.
So, who's driving tonight then?
Who's the best driver?
Third, and some of the impact players in this match. No surprise that we're talking about Brooklyn DeLay, 16 kills on the afternoon. Emma Grome, reliable as ever with 29 assists and 7 digs. And for Alabama, it's been Thompson and Campbell leading the way.
All these players really have stepped up for their teams at different times, but DeLay and Grome have worked together so well.
That second set, couldn't do it. How do you answer here in the third?
You know, in both sets, there were moments where Alabama seemed to have the lead, have the momentum. Definitely at the end of the last set, their response this set has to be just don't quit. Don't go away quietly. Keep playing to the level they know they can.
Emma Grome will start off the third set. Towns, no space for her. Now Thigpen, Bertucci, another good dig. Rally to start off the third set. Bertucci again lays out. Thompson, that's down. Alabama gets an energized first point of the third.
Thompson putting the exclamation mark on that point, but Bertucci keeping it alive with a couple of great digs during that rally. She's played so well today, this week as a whole. That one so athletic to track that down off the block.
Thigpen. Bertucci couldn't keep that one up.
Thigpen swinging into the hole between the blocker's hands. That was a great job seeing the ball in front of her, seeing the court in front of her. Great volleyball IQ point right there.
Now you've got the freshman Thigpen back. Agee trying to get going. Maybe that will get her started.
Agee with a great swing. I know she needed that for her confidence. But also that set from Keyshawn, she went from sideline to sideline, sending that ball like 30 feet across the court. That was a great job by Keyshawn getting behind that ball.
Keyshawn goes to Campbell, who finds just a little bit of room.
Great job by Campbell. I think that was a smart decision to go for the tip. That ball seemed to be a little bit behind her sweet spot, so she opted to just keep the point going instead of trying to make a swing behind her head.
Another really good serve by Bertucci, but Delay tried to put it away and could not. Alabama leads by 3.
Those out-of-system sets that come super high in the air can be so tough to track down. You have to be super patient on the ball. Delay right there, though, I think was going for high hands, intentionally swinging that ball high to where it would land out, but hoping it would hit the block.
Oh, nice job. Jordan Daly ends the run.
Anytime Kentucky gets a good pass, they are able to run that offense so quick that it's tough to defend. Alabama has to serve tough enough that Grome has to go at least 10 feet off the net to get to the ball.
That's 6 kills for the redshirt freshman Daly today. Here's AG. Now Wilson.
Great job by Wilson taking that ball through the seam in the block, but kind of down the line. There's not much defensively from the back row position that Alabama can do about that. The only hope they have is to get a block in front of that shot.
Campbell looking for room. Great job by Tuzzo. And now a chance for Kentucky. Baltimore puts it down. We're tied at 4.
Kentucky's whole offensive core getting involved in this set to make a little comeback, string some points along to get it back 4-4. But can we talk about that dig out of Tuzzo keeping the play alive? Chase Campbell was going for a tip that she saw a lot of success with Wednesday night against Auburn.
Now Campbell trying to hit the spot, but she missed wide.
Kentucky on a 4-0 run now behind the serve of Tuzzo. Alabama's got to find a way to get a pass and find open court.
See where Keyshawn goes. It's AG. Delay. Wow, that is power.
I like that power. That was just such a huge swing from Delay, and she's a few feet off the net on that one, and still has just such a fast arm swing that ball comes across the net quick.
Once again, Tuzzo, who served on that great run to keep the second set alive for Kentucky. And now the Wildcat block is making some noise. But a point to Alabama, gets it within 1.
You know, from where we're sitting, that looked like a block, but that ball, I think, landed between the bodies of the Kentucky block and the net rather than going back on the Alabama side. That's another important swing for Sophie Agee, who's trying to get involved in this match, trying to make a difference offensively.
Over to Wilson. Oh, Kiefer was in position but couldn't get it cleanly.
Yeah, like you said, Kiefer was right there. I think that a huge part of Kentucky's game plan, if they watch the footage from Alabama's match Wednesday night, should be swinging towards that right back sideline that Alabama struggled to defend.
That's gonna sail.
Alabama will definitely look to capitalize on that service error. Paris Thompson checks back in, who has definitely been the more successful outside hitter for the Tide tonight, hitting .312 with 7 kills so far.
And you saw the number, 10 service errors for Kentucky as Alabama gives one right back. That's just a moment ago. The 4th of the Wildcats have had those since that first set. So they've cleaned it up a little bit.
Definitely have cleaned it up. Definitely, it seems Kentucky's sending slightly less aggressive serves across the net, just trying to keep it in now.
Campbell blocked.
Beautiful job by Boltzema getting in front of Campbell, who has mostly been swinging to the left back sideline. That time was swinging towards the right, but Boltzema stopping her in her tracks. That was a huge block for Kentucky. Great read by Boltzema.
Really kind of the first time today Kentucky's had a lead like this early in the set. Nothing for Dunaway. Now Thigpen gets through the Alabama block.
That time, Thigpen just too strong for the Alabama block, and this Crimson Tide team has got to build some momentum and energy.
Timeout called by Rashinda Reed, and we'll step aside. Kentucky up 4 in the third set, looking to sweep on the road.
Champions are not born. They're forged. Every challenge is an opportunity. Every setback, a lesson. But this is not just about...
Definitely struggled to get going.
We'll see what she's doing in this match as Kentucky gives back a service error. Still hitting in the negative is Agee, but a couple kills in this third set, maybe that will get her into a rhythm.
Definitely, and she seems to be a player that other teams spotted quickly and thought, that's who we need to slow down and shut down. So hopefully as the rest of her team and the other, her teammates get more involved offensively and less of the spotlights on her, she'll have more room to swing.
There's delay. She doesn't need much room at all, but she had plenty on that swing.
Those back row attacks, the block is so, so important. And that time, the block was really far apart. DeLay had all the room in the world to swing, and boy, did she.
Kentucky now trying to keep Alabama at arm's length here in this third set and wrap up a road sweep. Dunaway misses wide.
Dunaway going for the down the line kill, looking for that deep corner. Again, I think I've said this several times today. Seems like these Alabama hitters have the right idea, just aren't perfectly executing.
Towns. Now Thigpen. And another point for the Wildcats. The lead is ballooned to 6.
Really, what I can say of this Wildcats team tonight is they're playing really well together, but they also haven't looked phased. They haven't gotten super up emotionally, super down emotionally. They've stayed steady and looked confident the whole time.
Thompson, nothing there. Now Daly through the block. 4 straight for the Wildcats.
4 straight for the Wildcats, and always looking to different hitters. Emma Grome's doing a great job of getting every piece of her offense involved, taking advantage of every tool she has out there on the court with her.
There's Thompson. That's down. Alabama desperately needed that.
Great, that's something Thompson does so well. She was off the net by a good bit, but still made an aggressive swing and found deep court going right over the block, it looked. Great job by Thompson getting a much needed kill for the Tide.
Delay. Oh, man. There's nothing you can do to stop Brooklyn Delay when she's got a clean look.
That was a great swing out the back row. She's not letting up at all. I mean, her stat sheet is just impressive tonight. 18 kills already here in this third set.
Here's Towns trying to answer. She does.
Great job by Towns taking care of that ball. She goes for that slide footwork. And I think sometimes she goes up on that slide and tries to make a more powerful cross-court swing. That time saw what was open in front of her. That was a great swing, a great smart move by Towns.
And an error gives it right back. At this point, down by now 7 in the third set. Those are mistakes Alabama cannot afford.
Couldn't have said it better myself. They've got to take care of the ball, control what they can control. They can control the serve. They can control their pass. They can't necessarily control how DeLay is going to hit the ball at them or what's going to happen offensively from Kentucky, but they can control the serve for sure.
Good swing by Agee, but kept alive by Kentucky. And Brown could not track down another kill from Brooklyn DeLay.
That's 19 kills for Brooklyn DeLay tonight. And that's off of 43 attempts. She has just swung on the ball so many times. Just definitely a workhorse over there for Kentucky. Has been Alabama has not found an answer for what she can do.
And now a timeout called by Alabama. We teased it earlier. The committee has released the top 16 seeds right now. If the bracket came out today, this is what that list would look like. And Lane, interestingly, Kentucky, even with an RPI of 15, team is Texas, the new kids on the block. And maybe a reason why Kentucky not on that list. 1-7 against the RPI top 25. Perfect against everybody else on the team sheet, but right now really struggling at times to get those high quality wins.
Yeah, that.
They faced a test here today against Alabama, but right now in firm control of the third set. Agee got the touch, point Alabama.
Agee excited to get involved, needed that kill, and doing something she's done so well throughout the season in swinging high hands, getting a piece of the Kentucky block right there before it traveled across the net.
Daly off the Alabama block and towards us, point Wildcats. Nice play, partner.
Thank you. Heads up play, if you will. That was a great swing by Daly. Cross court, powerful. Those are tough to defend. Anytime a middle goes behind the setter, she just gets that much tougher to track.
You see how efficient Kentucky's been in this set, hitting 750, and that number will get better as the Wildcats lead grows to 9.
Alabama looking for a call of the block being across the net too early. They're not going to get it. Kentucky really running away with the momentum here in this third set.
And now an ace.
A second ace for Tuzzo for the Wildcats. Gives them the 10-point lead. That's the biggest lead we've seen so far.
Keshak looking for Campbell, and that missed. 21-10, the Wildcats are 4 points away.
And Ellery Reese will check in for Chase Campbell. Try to see if Alabama can get something else going offensively from that middle blocker position. And they're saved by the missed serve from Tuzzo. So Kyla Dunaway and Callie Kiefer will check back in for the Tide.
It really is wild, though, how this match has changed. Since Alabama had 3 set points in the second set, Kentucky has outscored the Tide 29-14 and in firm control, looking to get the sweep, but maybe Callie Kiefer can go on a run for Alabama. And a whistle, and a violation on Alabama.
Like you said, Gray, this match feels so different, and Kentucky is just playing with the confidence and the steadiness that they've always had. They haven't looked frazzled. They never looked frazzled during Alabama's set points in set 2. Now you can see there a net violation. And a service error gives the point back to Alabama.
Well, Alabama, if they're going to come back, they have to do it now. 22-12 the score here in the third set. Kentucky faced adversity at the end of a second set, fought through it, and now looking for a clean sweep in T-Town. Delaney Hogan has checked in, couldn't find space. Neither could Reese. Delay. That's blocked. How about again? Thompson. There's a whistle and a point for the Tide.
That time, Kentucky's block in the net. You see block delay, but what an impressive play by Thigpen, keeping the ball in the air. Definitely an untimely missed serve from Sophie Agee. Kentucky just 2 points away from taking this set and match.
We've got Delay back to serve. She's up to 20 kills today. Thompson. Here comes Delay. Agee tried to keep the point alive, but Kentucky has match point.
Delay is so impressive from the front row, but might be even more important for Kentucky out of the back row because she creates such a distraction for the Alabama defense. They don't know where to look.
She'll serve to close it out. Dunaway. Chance to end it. Thigpen had it blocked.
Dunaway fired up after that point. Great block, great job being disciplined, getting in front of Thigpen, throwing hands up. You know, both blocks have been in the net towards the end of this set, which just speaks to how excited these teams are to try to block these great hitters.
Hogan tried to get tricky, but Alabama said no way.
Big block for the Tide there. Paris Thompson throwing that ball back down.
We've got the freshman Ellery Reese out of Chicago serving. Thigpen. That's blocked again. Thigpen again. That is long. Was there a touch? No.
Coach Skinner immediately grabs the challenge card, looking to see if there was a touch on that block.
This will be curious to see. If Kentucky wins this challenge, it's over. And Coach Skinner, 11 of 18 on challenges overall this year, 7 of 9 in SEC play.
I brought it up a little bit, but Kentucky just looking steady, looking confident, really looking like they expect to win every point, every set, and of course the whole match at the end of the day. Alabama showing flashes of excitement, flashes of energy, but not the same confidence that we're seeing out of this Kentucky squad.
The ruling right now is no touch. Alabama's won 3 straight points.
We're going to see a replay here, see if the ball hit off of Dunaway or Towns before it sailed out of bounds. Ball is overturned. Kentucky point and Kentucky match.
Alabama loses on a challenge from Kentucky, and the Wildcats get the sweep in Tuscaloosa to improve to 11-7 overall and grab a 16th straight victory over the Tide. And it sure was impressive here today, Lane.
Definitely a well-fought match, not necessarily shown on the scoreboard here in the third set, but there were so many moments that were on display.
And we thank you so much for joining us here in Tuscaloosa. For my partner, Lane Rizzo, and our entire phenomenal SEC Network crew, I'm Gray Robertson saying so long after Kentucky sweeps Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next time.